Hello, this is a guy 1013. I'll be discussing Neonectar, as the event has just ended, so everyone has already gotten all their cards that they could get depending on their luck. Now I'll show you the three builds. I won't show you the fights because I'll do that in the next video because it'll consume too much time. Let's start with Musketeer because it's the main card people want to see, main deck that people want to see. The main grade 3 of Musketeer is Elvira because she gets crits and she can be a pseudo Rage. If you don't know what Rage is a Dark Irregulars unit that has an ability when you have 15 cards in soul, it gains plus 2 crit and plus 15,000 power, which in turn blocks opposing players from using their Break Ride and Limit Break unless they have self damagers. The backup grade 3 is from Wave 2, which is Cecilia. A very good card. It helps prevents your deck from decking out. It's still good to this day. Sometimes I will ride her instead of Elvira because of her skill being free, unlike Elvira where it requires a Soul Blast. Next is the card that might be very different to other people. I have Herman for only one reason alone. All the Musketeer units, when they have their superior call ability, requires you to kill a Musketeer unit. We have very few Musketeer grade 3s. We only have 3 of them. So I'm having Herman here as Retire Father. That's it. And our last grade 3 is this one. Maiden of Venus Trap Muse. Very good grade 3. Mostly because this can do a 4th attack. Its skill is when this unit attacks Vanguard counter +1, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck and call a card with the same card name as your unit, which means you can do a 4th attack with this thing. It doesn't need to hit, it just needs to attack. Boom! Perfect for budget builds, which I will do later on. Now grade 2s. Now is the second triple R of this wave. Fancy Musketeer Sylvia. Sylvia is similar to other cards that are 7k base where they can sprinkle the top card of the deck. This is like Shadow Paladin's bad card, except it is Musketeer specific, which means unless you build a Musketeer deck, you won't be able to use this as much. That's why she's perfect for this build, and the fact that she is counter blast free means she's perfect for Elvira. Going back to Elvira, Elvira's main limit break skill is when your Musketeer rear guard is placed by your card effects, counter +1 to get +1 critical until end of turn. Meaning, if you have Elvira, your limit break, you can get +1 critical with Pansy Musketeer Sylvia. Next up, we have counter chargers. Alberto is a counter charger, meaning on hit, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, counter charge 1. Perfect, simple, easy. The deck counter blasts too much, so we need him. Next up is our 12k beaters. We mostly use this guy because our opponents might run 10k vanillas. Might run 10k vanillas in their deck, so you need something to break through them. Or you run out of boosters. And you're facing Link Joker and they lock your entire back row. Last up in the grade 2 spot is our own self-damagers. The reason why I run 2 instead of the normal common run 4 is mostly because she is 8k base. Sure, you can retire her to super call another grade 2 with Elvira or Cecilia, but she doesn't have a good enough skill. But you can choose to replace the 12k beater for her. Next up is our perfect guards. Nothing to change, so just a new perfect guard set proc at 5 when you're gonna be killed, when you're gonna lose the game. Nothing much. We use him because he's Musketeer name. Next is Rebecca. Same thing from wave 2. Counter +1 on place. Retire Musketeer. Check the fort to call another Musketeer. So you're just switching out whichever Musketeer you want with this. Then we have the 10k beaters, which is Root, she's an okay unit. she's nice to have because if you run out of attacking units, she can be your attacker. The last but not the least, my grade 1 self-damager, Tulip Musketeer, Mina. She's good, but she's just a regular self-damager. The reason I don't run 4 of hers because I prefer Root over her. Because self-damagers is good, but the problem is their counterblast face. Now, if they come out as face-up, I might add more of her to coincide with Elvira, without but Elvira consumes counterblast, so it's really not much of a go. But it's nice to run 3 self-damage, so I might choose an Elvira play. Anyways, our starter is the Grade 3 Searcher. Now, this is my build for Musketeers. I won't do any gameplay in this video, because I want to explain all the 3 Neonectar builds I currently have. Now, the second build is Green Dragon, or Arboros. I am pronouncing that right. Arboros. Arbor's Dragon Sephiroth. The reason why I have this is that when Wave 2 came along, I got a ton of packs. I got the cards, build a deck. Our main grade 3 is Sephiroth. His skill is continuous. No, not continuous, that's the TCG skill. At the start of your battle, all your units with the same card names get plus 3000 power. And his other skill is Counterblast 2. Superior call a unit from your deck with the same card name as one of your other cards. And he's part of a ride chain. Meaning he's 10k base, he only becomes 11k base if you have the grade 2, which is here. Next are heal triggers, which is Knight of Harvest Gene. The reason I have him here is that he's nice to have because if you somehow have him in hand at the mulligan, after you mulligan, he has a use. Like if you're at grade 3, you don't do anything, you just call him once, swing, he calls 2 copies of this guy, Knight of Venture Gene. And his main use in the deck is to be called by this guy, Knight of Harvest Gene. And that's about it for the grade 3s, except we have the reverse, which we run 4 of, mostly because Sephiroth will most likely call more copies of the cards we have in our deck, meaning there's less a chance we can use Muse. Muse and Sephiroth's abilities can kind of clash because Sephiroth calls cards from the deck that are the same name that's on the field. Muse does the same thing. It's like if you can actually make a deck surrounding Muse, but Muse and Sephiroth cannot go together as they are like taking the same piece of the pie. So then later you're gonna run out of that pie, you can't use their skills anymore. That's why we have Reverse. She doesn't need to look for a card. She just needs to check top 5. Superior call of that card. If it somehow has the same card name as one of your cards, this unit gets plus 5k. If it doesn't matter. You get a free call by locking a unit and paying counterblast 1. We have the on hit counterblast 2 draw card. Have it to draw more cards. We already told you Gene. We have the grade 2 variant of the ride chain. We have 1 copy of the counter charger because you always need a tech spot, and I picked this guy because we counterblast more or less, and it's nice to have a counter charger in the deck. Then we have the grade 1s, part of the ride chain, the grade 0, the grade 1, part of the ride chain, the grade 0, part of the ride chain, OGPGs, and Gojo clones whose skill is Act, Rest, discard 1 to draw 1 card. And a 10 and an 8k vanilla. This is for Green Dragon, which isn't the best Neonectar build. Currently, the best is Musketeer. Then let's go to Neonectar. Neonectar, that's its name because it's like the first Neonectar, the best build of Neonectar when Neonectar first came out, which is Maiden of Trailing Rose. Persona Blast, she's my stand because The card you want to ride is Venus Muse. This is actually a deck based around her, but I kinda forgot about it while in video, which is kinda sad. Had explained all the grade trees except for Trailing Rose and the Break Rate. The Break Rate goes when you rode upon your Vanguard, gets plus 10,000 power, calls a card for each of your rear guards, calls a card from the same card's name as two of your rear guards. So maximum maximum you can call two cards, minimum you can call one card if you have a rear guard. If you don't have rear guards or don't have copies left, you just get a generic plus 10k power. He's a one of the deck because he's the least important grade 3 in the deck. That's why he is a stand. Because you don't want to ride him. His power kinda interferes with Muse and Reverse, so there's no point having him. Condition attacks the Vanguard, turn +1 to look at the top 5 cards of the deck and call card with the same card name as your unit. I already stated a while ago, it can give you more multi-attack, can give you that fourth battle that you need to win the game. The new card in this list that I haven't explained in the previous parts of this video is Radom Cherry Bloom. When this unit attacks hits, counter +1, sub +1 to call a Maiden Cherry Stone from your deck as rest. It requires to hit the Vanguard, so it's a good card. You can call grade 1s, which is this girl right here, Maiden of Cherry Stone. Possibility is when this unit attacks boosted by this unit hits a Vanguard, you can call Maiden of Cherry Bloom as rest. But you have to return this card back to the deck, so it's like if you somehow have two grade 1s, this allows you to rush a bit during your grade 1 turns. Then the Gojo clone, the AK Vanilla, the Perfect Guard, and the best starting Vanguard in Neonectar. The only sad aspect is that he doesn't have Musketeer in his card's name, P-Knight. P-Knight's ability, put this into your soul to put two cards from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck. Meaning, if you whiff your heals early game, you can put them back at the bottom of your deck, which is nice. Trailing Rose skill, I didn't explain it, I just schemed her a bit. Now I'll explain her. When this unit attacks hits, a Vanguard, counter +1, Persona Blast, to call two cards from your deck. So meaning she can give you two more attacks, but the problem is she's on hit and a Persona Blast. But thankfully she is not limit break, so she can be used early game rush if you can do it. She's like Neonectar's version of Descended minus the draw power. So she's okay. She's the only grade 3 I can put here that is not. She's the only good grade 3 left. So yeah. Now now thank you for watching, and I hope this doesn't bite me by not showing gameplay videos. So bye bye.